sometimes you need time to figure yourself out. You know what I mean?
Nah, I don't have any girl vibes.
I've known since I was 5. I just didn't want other people to know.
Okay. So you was just waiting for the right time.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Okay.
Funny story. The first person I ever told was Nikisha.
Okay.
A friend of
Bestie
ours
for
who we went to
life.
school with.
Bestie for life.
First person I ever told. How I told her was that it was March of 2010.
Okay.
She was posting flyers for a social work, like the social work club event. It was raining. She was going around. I texted her and I said, "Where are you?" She said, "I'm at Jubilee." I said, "I'm going to come meet you at Jubilee." I went to go meet her at Jubilee. She was leaving, and as I was coming in, we were walking, and I was like, "I got something to tell you." I was like, "Hey, I'm gay." And she was like, "And grass is green."
Keisha would say that. Keisha would say that.
And she was like, "And grass is green."
I was just waiting for you to tell me.
Right. And then she goes, and not that anyone in here believes in bestiality, but just trying to make me feel comfortable. She goes, "Keith, if you want to go. I wouldn't care." I'm not gonna go. I wasn't then at the time, but she was just trying to.
I mean, if you LeBron James, you know what I'm saying? Like, just say that.
Please stop starting rumors.
I hate you. Because I do not need.
Honestly, I get sensitive about LeBron because they let Steph Curry be All-American Golden Boy. And y'all always trying to drag LeBron. Let him be a family man, a good man too.
Exactly.
All celebrities say dumb shit, so
I mean, he's
counting that out.
I'm just saying, like, he said he not fucking a goat. I'm just saying you could, just not in the bestiality sense. You know
That's
what I mean?
very true.
Like,
Oh, that's where LeBron came in.
I was. I caught it as soon as he said it.
That went full.
I caught it as soon as he said it.
I was wondering. I'm like,
Hey.
yo, why you just bring Bron into this?
LeBron, neither LeBron nor Keith is fucking goats.
Neither one of us. Neither
All
one
right,
of us.
just
Neither one of us.
throwing that out there in case it went over anybody else's head.
But yeah, and then as down the line came, I, in an unfortunate sense, thought I was hiding it well. No one.
That's where
the
you was right.
the only person and actually people who are listening to this probably know this person and who are watching this know this person. The only person who was shocked about it was Austin.
Really?
Austin was the only person who did not know.
Because
Like, who did not know from jump.
Austin be in his own world.
Word.
He be on his own shit.
But that really be some shit though. Like you ever be waiting to tell somebody and you expecting a certain reaction,
Yes.
and then they just don't.
You know,
But that's why you can't assume or make assumptions about what people are gonna do because you never know what they're gonna do.
Like, I thought my coming out was going to be like a episode of One Tree Hill, a big old a college drama that was like it was just gonna be a whole thing. Everybody was like. One friend legitimately was in a discussion with somebody else. I was trying to tell them. She turned around, Keith, we know, and then went back to the discussion.
I'm glad you found out.
And then went back to the discussion. I was like, okay.
Keith, be who you are for your
She
pride.
said, Keith, "I'm glad you finally came to terms with it." So about this, like,
Legit, that's what it was. But that's not what this episode is about.
and this is how we starting the episode.
My cousin recently came out the closet. And that caught all of us off guard. But, like, not for the reasons that you would think. My cousin
Male,
is just
female, and or
male.
non-binary. Okay.
6'2", handsome black man, more mask presenting, very quiet.
Okay.
Like, very exuberant when he, like, knows people. But, like, at school, like, wallflower. And he's very private. So, like, if you were, like, this is my first cousin. So I'm like, if someone was like, Morel, who's his best friend? I don't know. Like, not male, not female. Like, he's just a lone wolf. So he came out the closet because he went to his sister's baby shower. And he bought his friend. His friend's name is Brandon.
Friend.
But this is the only friend we've ever seen. So this is, like, a moment. We're like, oh, shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we went to the crib after. Yeah, that's his boyfriend. I'm so proud. 'Cause, like, I'm just happy he has someone because, like, for so long we're like, we don't attach women to him. Like, nobody. Like, we're starting to think maybe he was, like, asexual. Like, he just a loner. Like, but I'm happy for him. Yeah, he's never gonna tell us, but that's his way of saying it. Like, can't get more clear to that. So.
No, I just seen this one comedian. He was talking about how his cousin came out to the family, and he said this fucked around. He's like, he didn't do it the right way. This man came out on Facebook, and he basically made a status, and he was over here like, "Hey y'all, I'm gay," and then he said his whole family in the comment section like, "Yo, bro, get your phone back. Somebody got somebody done hacked your
That's like Tyler
shit."
the Creator. Like he kept trying to come out of the closet, and everyone thought he was kidding. He's like, no, I'm really.
It's like, nah, for real, yo. I like dick. Like,
Nobody believed it. Like, and I'm like a huge OF fan, and like I remember just being like, okay.
like, nah, me, Franco, like, you know what I mean? Like, same boat. Same boat, same direction.
I had my chance with Frank Ocean and I fumbled the bag, but he's a weirdo.
Huh?
Oh,
Wait,
he's
Back
what?
to what we.
All right, so now we not talking about LeBron. We talking about Frank Ocean now. What's up? When?
I had my opportunity when I was in LA one time. I went to a concert. Like I got invited backstage, but just kind of fumbled the bag because he's a weirdo.
Everybody who make good, I feel like everybody who make good music
He's
like
a
that is a
weirdo.
weirdo.
I believe that though.
You know what I'm saying?
He cannot hold a conversation to save his life.
He's probably a loner, and that's probably why he's always heartbroken. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you heard Pyramids?
Go to therapy. I have. Go to fix it. Go to therapy.
I know he's very introspective. Like
Gotta be.
you can't just write pink and white and not be like
White Ferrari.
But also,
the soul on that human being. I love him.
there was the loner thing, but also there was a vibe I got that I might have been. Our foundations didn't match. If you get what I'm saying, like that.
Is Frank
I
a
might
top
have
or a
been-
bottom?
No, that's not what I meant. I meant that like if I might have been, not his hue.
Oh.
Hue of choice.
Right.
You'd be surprised how often that happens.
I'm not surprised at all if that happens. Do you know what Grindr is?
You know what?
Do you know in individuals' profiles? Here's what I have seen in individuals' profiles. Ready? No darks.
Dang.
No fats. No femmes. No rice. You want to know what that means?
What?
No Asian.
No Asians, no rice.
Well, that's flagrant. That is crazy.
Y'all,
Niggas is brutal.
bruh.
The worst part is though, like, it's just a regular guy who's not like says crazy stuff like that. Is that you could kind of appreciate just brutal honesty. Like,
Honestly,
like,
because I know, like when I look on the profile, I'm like, oh, well, I'm not about to waste my time.
Yeah,
You said, "Not me."
I'm not about to waste my time on there because I know that
there's guys like that or women like that that'll parade as something else, like, and then you
too.
feed it in a little bit and whatever. Like,
I met them too.
Nah, that.
Yeah.
That's actually wild.
No darks first is crazy.
I would have thought like.
nah, the whole thing is crazy.
The whole thing is nuts, but like
insanity,
he
like-
came out the gate like.
But it's not.
No.
But that's not the only. That's the first time I have gotten that a lot.
That's actually wild though, because like
I have gotten that a lot.
I thought y'all would have been way more accepting, like.
Oh no.
Cause
before we continue, though, you definitely didn't do the intro, and we got.
You're right. You got.
No, yeah,
we
we
did.
did.
Topic. We have gone.
Nah, we good.
But it's June,
was my fault.
and this is the Pride Month episode. Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
think about how to spin it. It's good. Come on, turn it on.
I got caught up in the conversation when we started talking about ghosts. I was like, word.
That's actually intro.
So
That was the goat of being blunt. Go back to it.
Come on, producer.
On
screen producer.
welcome to Woah Chill Wednesday. On screen producer this week. We are missing our A Mike A Tunde. We miss you. He out here doing his thing as the DJ.
Booked.
Booked and busy. You feel me? Booked and busy, but I'm happy to be able to use my own mic this week. It's nice.
Period.
Smiles all around, and I'm happy to be here with y'all. I'm Jordan45, your producer. All the way to my left, we got Moriel, a.k.a. Wishing It Was Me.
Hey,
That's right. You wish it was me, bitch. To the right of her, we got Quill, a.k.a. Quill Illuminati. And then right in between me and Quill, we got our main man, Keith, a.k.a. Keith These Days. And this is Woah Chill Wednesday. I was about to say Woah Chill MF Wednesday, but monetization. You know,
We're more than 10 minutes in though.
Intelligence.
we at 11:04. You goddamn right.
Say, if you made it
We
this
can
far,
be
you're giving us money.
ourselves.
You know-
But were we cursing before?
I probably.
I just cursed
Probably.
like a sailor.
Maybe.
Like,
I don't
That
think
was a
so.
pretty clean conversation.
It
I
really
think.
was.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we
Maybe
did talk.
one or two naturally.
I definitely said because we was talking about fucking. So
I did say nigga.
we, damn. All right, no money on this episode. That's all right. We might even get banned from
get
YouTube
flagged.
with that one.
My
You know what I'm
bad.
saying?
But
Like,
you know what? We off the heels of Juneteenth. And saying nigga is a birthright.
you know what I mean?
I earned this. I came out with this privilege.
Swangin'.
Just like some people came out with white privilege. I'm not complaining.
You know what I mean? This one of the few we got. We gonna use it. Goddamn it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So what you call it?
So happy-
Nobody can check me on saying nigga because I got 4 black grandparents. Okay.
There you go.
I do what I want.
4 of them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So yeah, with that
You know,
being
my
said,
my
happy
dad was
Juneteenth.
2 years old.
Happy Pride.
When he first got hit, when black people first got their rights.
He was how old?
2. When black people got rights.
Damn.
Black people didn't get rights to the 60s.
Yeah, I know. People
People
really
forget that.
think like, oh, slavery was all this long time ago. Okay, but what about this era and that era? And we're not even gonna get into the long
Right.
range.
I'm just saying,
Nah,
but-
my grandma picked cotton. That shit crazy.
My great grandma did.
Wow.
And people really act like, you know, you had abolition, and then people was like, all right, y'all good.
Yeah, that's
Like-
what I'm saying. There was many eras of version after slavery. Like in
They're
between
still
slavery
mad.
and- Yeah, like,
I don't know if you guys know. They're still mad.
and
Multiple
we're
things.
still in an era right now of.
They're
like I
trying
said,
to
that's just
ban
not even-
talking about black history
It-
below the Mason-Dixon.
Bro, there's travel advisories on going to Florida. Like, come on, this is
Can we
everywhere.
just
It's
cut?
still here.
No offense to
Like-
anybody who lives in Florida who's with us, but can we just cut y'all off?
I mean, hell, y'all see what's going on in Florida with DeSantis and all that stuff.
Yeah.
All them workers they
Texas
just
is
lost.
right behind them, and I love Texas. But Texas is the whole South, really. Like,
Nah,
don't
man.
forget like the Great Migration. Like that's why I'm here, because
It's crazy though.
sick of it down there.
The economic impact of that is actually wild though.
I mean,
And
that's
it-
why we need reparations.
and it's multifaceted too, because like not only is construction work stopped because y'all lost like 90% of your labor workforce, but not only that, all these prices is going up because y'all paying these dudes dirt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see just how valuable the work that they doing is, and like everything came to a grind,
Halt.
like halt. People's houses ain't get renovated, developments just stop dead. Like, I've seen videos, people walking through construction sites. It's like, yo, it's like one dude sitting on a bucket eating lunch, and then everything, like nothing else is happening, bro. Like, it's like dead down there. And they want this dude to run for president.
And you know what's even more wicked about that is that it's not just that certain people can't work with the bill that's been passed. The employers will get in trouble if they don't enforce them. That's why it's like this whole wave, because they said, I'm not taking those fines. I'm not incurring that issue because that's the law of the land. That's fucking crazy.
And that's wild, because like even if it is if it's just a fine for the workers, I mean for the employers, like because we've seen it happens in pharma all the time. They get hit with a fine, but they just keep on doing what they're doing because that's just the cost of business. Like if that fine is that crazy,
But think about the multiplicity of the people
Yeah.
present that do the work that bill is talking about.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's a crazy smack, and people are
Yeah,
going
and
to realize.
it's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful.
Even when you think about like the abortion laws the South is passing, like a Lyft driver who picks up somebody and takes them from their house to go to a doctor to get an abortion, that Lyft driver can go to jail
That's max.
for
But then,
taking
like,
somebody
also-
to get an abortion.
How can you ask somebody like, "Hey, where you going?" Like,
Just as somebody who's done it, Lyft and Uber driving, you're supposed just to make sure you have the right passenger. You're supposed to ask. You're supposed to hey, say their name, like, oh, you get in the car, Moriel? Yes, you're going to. Let's say you're going to doctor. You're going to Dr. Johnson's office.
Yeah.
Yes. So that means
was my
means you
doctor's
know.
name.
So that means you know.
Yeah.
As the Lyft driver, you know.
But like, I'm gonna look up Dr. Johnson and figure out that he does abortions, and like, no one's doing that due diligence. Like, that's so terrible that someone could get caught in the crossfires of someone else's business like that. Like,
And that's one problem I have with politics too. And although I aspire to be in politics like later in my life, I feel like it's a lot of problem solving with things that people actually don't have any issues with. Like it's kind of like they kind of put their own personal beliefs into something that your government in our country shouldn't be about how you personally feel.
While there should be a
Right.
separation of church and state, there never is.
We got bigger fish to fry. We got bridges falling down. We got dumbass kids. The hospitals are using plastic instead of gloves. Like, it's getting real ghetto in America across the fucking board.
So speaking of dumbass kids and dumbass America, we out here trying to make it in our 20s.
That's a good segue.
We out here trying to make
That
it.
was great. I just need you to know that. I need you to know how important and great that segue was.
I appreciate
Why is
you.
it so great? Because, like, are you saying that, like, you were dumb in your 20s?
Yes.
Yeah. We all know that Khaled song, Young, Dumb, and Broke.
I just saw a TikTok, and I'm gonna tell you I'm just give you the basis of the TikTok of how in my 20s, one of the things she said is that I would take illicit items from strangers I did not know.
Bro.
In my 20s. But here now at 32, I'm on the phone with poison control if I think I've taken my vitamins twice a day when I'm only supposed to take them once a day.
You're just so much more careful.
Am I gonna die?
Literally. Literally. Literally.
There's a lot of iron in this pill.
There is a day where somehow, and we're all people from Jersey, we all know Jersey schools. Mm-hmm. Somehow, I made it from FDU back up to Seton Hall University. I drove, but I don't remember the trip. I don't remember how that happened.
Yo, that's not good.
It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah,
but if you ever wondered when God was with you,
yo, thank the Lord
My
for
God.
lane keepers, bro. Because my Tucson, when I had that shit,
Bro said
it
lane
did
keep.
not come out of that lane, yo. The moment, like, if you not off and that shit even touch that line, your ass gonna wake up right now. Like, yo, tell that shit, it'll jerk you back real hard, but it'll be smooth, but inside it'll feel like it'll jerk you back, it'll make a noise, and you just, oh shit. Bro, I did that shit right next to a fucking cop. And I had a fishbowl too, I didn't tend him at all, but I did that shit right next to a cop, and then that shit in the lane for the next like 5 minutes. He was trailing me, just let me know. I'm like, God.
Bruh.
Because I was sleep, like, bro, I'm telling you, I was sleep.
Speaking of taking,
being
speaking of
sleepy is
taking,
worse than being drunk.
Yeah,
If you're
no, it was
sleepy
both.
and drunk,
It was
it's
like,
terrible.
nah, dead ass, bro. Like it really might be
Not
worse,
good.
cause at least you like. I'm not condoning this, but when you sleepy, it's real hard to not fall the hell asleep. Like when your eyelids be heavy and stuff like that, bro.
I don't think they talk about that enough. Like,
They don't, bro. Like imagine like the same level of tired that you got when you wake up for your 8 a.m. and you just trying to look at that PowerPoint.
I had two terrifying moments as an adult, like in the last couple of years.
In your 20s? What?
In my 20s, like, I think one of my lessons from my 20s was just like how wild the world is. Like,
Amen.
we're just all people, but like, there's a lot of fuckery afoot. Like, there's just bullshit happening at all times.
Might be fuckery.
And like, I brought that up because to bring up the sleep thing, I was on 78. I'm on the highway. And I look over in my car and I like see another driver and he is asleep and his nose is to the sky and his head is like on.
Damn,
He's asleep.
bro.
He's like sleep.
Like real life slump.
And I'm like terrified because like he's going straight for now, but he's asleep. Like, so like I was beside him and I was gonna honk the horn, but I didn't want to scare him and him go like this. So I had to get in front of him and I honked the horn, hopefully to just get him something click. And then another time I'm like parked, I was like smoking and I looked over and like I'm parked, I'm chilling. Like but the guy driving had like nips And again, he's necking these nips. I'm like, he's really drinking and driving.
Like, for real, though, like at the same time.
Actual definition of
And
drinking and driving.
I will never forget because it wasn't like nighttime. It was like 11 a.m. I'm like, that's an alcoholic.
Bro, are you okay?
I might call the police.
I might
I'm in
like
danger.
it be like it's one thing if you on your way to brunch, but like it's Tuesday, bro. Like you at
I was
work?
like, damn,
Like,
the world's crazy, y'all. Like,
bro. Like there's really just some shit that you like. Speaking of someone who's still in their 20s, like I'm 25 and I look back on that I did like 2 years ago. Like, why did I do that? Like going back to taking illicit substances from people that you don't know from a brick. My mother and I, we went to a Motley Crue concert. I don't know if y'all know who that is.
I do.
Motley Crue is wild, right? And they fans are equally as wild, right? So, you want to talk about having God on your side this day, boy? God was definitely on my side because we was at the concert. It was in a little break in between songs or whatever. I think Poison or Def Leppard had just got off stage, and I wanted to go smoke before Motley actually came on. I go to the smoking section, and everybody sitting there talking, smoking, whatever. And there's these two dudes over here smoking a joint. I'm standing right next to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm smoking like my little. Me and my mom, we don't bring no weed to concert venues, so we was like, all right, we're not gonna do that. I forgot mine. I looked over at them. It was like, damn, I should have brought mine. I forgot mine at home. Like I didn't realize everybody was gonna be doing that and do it without even. I was like, all right. Took a couple of hits. I didn't stand there and smoke with the whole thing with him, but like I stood there with him, chatted up with him, and like got to know him or whatever. And then as I'm walking back to my seat, I'm over here. It's like, yo, I'm at a Motley Crue concert.
that could have been laced with coke.
Or I'm thinking like some like crazy hallucinogen, like PCP, something wild, like anything, like maybe even some angel dust. I don't fucking know.
You don't even know what you smoke.
That's what I'm saying. Like it could have been the most max in the world.
But you know what?
I could have had a trip that night.
I've done that at a concert.
You know what I mean? But like,
has anybody here ever done a shroom trip?
Done a what trip?
Shroom trip?
I've
microdosed.
microdosed.
I need to do it.
I've microdosed.
So it's just me. Okay.
No, I need to do it. It's on my things to do. I just haven't.
DMT?
That's
Anybody?
That was
I'm
scary.
like scared.
I just smoke weed.
I've like gotten mixed reviews on shrooms. Like
I loved it. Had a great time.
Please
I love
elaborate.
it. Okay, so I have someone that I know that did it, and normally they're colorblind, and they said when they did it, they saw colors.
Normally they colorblind. No.
Mine was a sexual situation.
Oh.
Where we did shrooms, and I'm not gonna lie to you, we for like 12 hours.
That's a lot, bro.
That's why I say that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Like 12 hours.
12 hours.
You clocked in almost twice.
That's a day shift, bro. Like
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man.
you was at work, my boy.
Because there were other substances involved too in what we were doing. We drank, we smoked. But she was like, "Want to try these shrooms?" And I was like, "Yeah." He gave them to me, and I was like,
Can you do shrooms with other things? Or like...
"Can you or should you?" That's the different question.
I was about to say it depends on your level of experience with narcotics.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
I've been doing this a long time now, so.
Alright. So if you see...
I was about to say, this was only within the last 5 years of my life.
Okay. Was this still in your 20s?
Yeah, so
Okay.
if I'm 30, this was 27.
Okay.
This was 27.
27 is a wild year. Just to give you some preface.
Word.
Yeah, it's just a wild year.
27.
Because like you're young, but you like see...
But you should know better for things too.
But
at
you're still
27.
wild.
Right.
You're still
young.
wild. Like,
Yeah,
27's fun. But
Yeah.
like, wow.
it
You
is.
said you were 25.
Yeah, man.
Strap up the rest of the year.
I was about to say, yes. Yes. Listen. Yes.
What did you say?
Strap
For the
up.
rest of the year. That's when you gotta look out for the kids.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. Oh,
Because
Yeah.
technically, 25 is an age where, like, if you were having a kid, nobody's going to bat an eye that you're having a kid, but you don't necessarily want a kid
Yeah.
at 25.
I was just telling them.
Keep coasting.
I
You
was
could
just
go
telling
a
them
good
before
7, 10, maybe even 10 more years.
Exact-
but I like, you feel-
You really could.
I was
That's
just,
my
And
dad's
trust me, as someone who
slogan.
had one at
Protect your
25,
DNA. My dad says that to all of his sons and all of his nephews. Like,
Does he
dad-
not say that to y'all?
I mean, No, he says it
Are you
to
supposed
the
to?
guy.
Are you just supposed to have somebody's DNA?
But no, what's it called?
Listen,
Women
he wasn't
are
talking
on a
to me.
different biological clock, though, so it's understandable how he would leave that conversation to our mother.
Right.
Okay.
But I'm just. Shit.
I already broke that generational curse because there was a lot of teen pregnancies in my family.
I was just telling them before we even cut these mics on. I was like, yo, I'm thinking, like the way my life looking right now, do I even want kids? Like that vasectomy looking real attractive right now. Like
You can reverse it.
so I've heard.
You can reverse it.
So I've heard. So I'm.
My
Your,
dad is
That's all I'm saying. It's like I could go with that guarantee of like, you know, like because evidently it's the most effective way to do it. You know what I mean? Like if you don't want kids, it's evidently that's the most effective way to go about it.
Which is wild. Not to get back to this.
Against kids.
Which is not to get back to this political thing. Which is wild that is cheaper than getting your tubes tied on the bill. If you go to a hospital,
you can't just get your tubes tied.
right?
You
It
have
actually
to get your
has to be.
husband's permission.
Yep.
Really?
Either that or there has to be a medical emergency for the solo woman to say that I want my tubes tied. Or you can be my mother and threaten to burn down the hospital if they don't do it. So that she does not have another child, a fourth child.
See,
They don't believe in, like, honestly, they have so many very subtle ways to control women, and that's, like, one that they don't, like, you have to wait and see. Like,
Right.
No one tells you, like, oh, they're going to do that. Or they could just be racist and sterilize you without you knowing it. That's the other side of it, so.
See, I didn't even
Yeah.
like, to my knowledge, I guess I kind of understood like the price point difference because to my knowledge, getting your tubes tied as a man versus a woman, it's a less invasive procedure because like, that's what's like, you're awake most of the time and it's like a day trip. You know what I mean? Like you can go get that shit done in like an hour and then be out. You know what I mean?
I don't think tying your tubes is, like, really that serious either.
I'm not saying it's serious.
It's a little bit more.
They do have to
I'm just saying it's more
go
involved.
into you. They do have to go into
Yeah, it's
you.
more invasive. Yeah, you got me there.
You know what I'm saying? Like
You
that.
have the
So the
ex-
price
the
point is
external
one thing,
member.
but like the fact that you need your husband's permission is wild. That's wild.
Yeah, and like if I was like, I'm technically still unmarried, so if I went to the doctor and I was like, yeah, can I have my tubes tied? They'd be like, no. Like, you haven't done anything yet.
Well, you mad?
I'm like, why? Like, I could come with like a list of reasons of why I want to do it, and like they'll just keep saying no. They just won't do it.
You can take this pill though. No, I don't want to do that.
But circling back, I have a question
What's
for the group.
All right.
What is, if you can think of, if you feel comfortable sharing, you feel comfortable sharing.
I'm an open book.
What would you say is the? I don't want to say wildest. I want to say the thing in your 20s that you can honestly say that you may regret that you've done. You could be if you're the type of person who says I never have regrets or anything, that's
My book is closed.
But if you can think of it, what is the one thing in your 20s that you can say that you regret doing?
Okay. Whew. Let me start off by saying.
You know what? I will start.
Go ahead.
I will start.
Okay.
I had multiple, not multiple, knowingly having random sex with guys that here's how I'll explain it. So they're in gay culture. There's this thing like on things like on apps like Grindr or whatnot, where there's something called there's a tribe called Anon. That means anonymous.
Ooh.
And what that is depending on your position in bed. So I'll just speak for myself. I identify more as a top. A guy will say, here's the layout of what I want to happen. Here's my address. I'm going to leave my door open. I am going to be face down, ass up. You just come in, fuck me, and leave.
That's some wild shit, bro.
They had a little bit of that on Euphoria.
Yes.
That's some.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's some wild
They got
shit.
one of these. 20s for heterosexual.
Are you asking for a friend?
Nah, I'm asking for me. I don't like. I need
And
to
I'm
know.
just saying those things that in my 20s I do regret because it was just one of those things where it was like because also they would say don't put on a condom either. So it's just legitimately a random, for lack of a better word, hole
Oh,
there that I'm just entering without knowing anything about the individual.
damn.
Guys, I'm good. Guys, I'm good. I'm great.
Honestly,
That's some.
you know
Bro.
what? And I'm bringing this up because people are like, "Oh, if I have a gay child, you gotta learn new rules." Because I would want to talk about that, baby. You gotta be careful for mama's baby.
You're never prepared for that.
What?
You're never prepared for me telling. Never prepared for, but that's
But you know what? See,
that's something I do because it was like I could be in a way different place, health wise.
But you know
right
what?
now,
also be dead.
I could.
Yeah.
Because
That's
if I walked into just a random
That's
room
the first
and
thing
somebody
I
could
thought.
have just shot me, swung like
But that's how wild life is. Like, do you remember that movie Kids?
yes.
That was a wild ass movie. Like, I was shocked.
The first
I don't think
scene
I've seen
is
that
the
movie.
first scene is some white girl getting by a young man who legitimately has not HIV, he has AIDS, and he's just spreading it around. That is the premise
like
of the movie.
14, and he only fucked virgins.
Yes, that was the other thing.
Only.
Only fucked
Only.
virgins.
Yo, you an asshole, bro.
Only ever fucked virgins, but he knew he had
black
AIDS.
people in this cast?
No, not at all.
Rosario Dawson was in that movie.
So no, not at all.
Quill just had to throw it out there.
Yeah, I just could feel. I didn't even want to ask if that person was. I could just feel that there was no black people in the cast at all. Like I just felt it.
But yeah,
That's
that
some
is,
Mac
but that is one thing. Like because but also that it just goes back to like when I came out, like the my whole like situation about coming out and like being gay and thinking I had to be the man who always had the sex. So that's one thing I do regret doing because that was very unsafe.
I'm glad you came out
It's
unscathed.
also like when you
Word.
think back on like when you pile up. I'm gonna start like this. When you pile up sexual encounters, not saying like you're trying to or whatever. It just adds up. We get older.
It's a numbers game.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you get older, you start to think like, yo, I really could have threw away like 30 of those.
Let me
Maybe
taste
like,
it.
you know, whatever number it is. For some people, it's like
I promise
100.
you.
For some people, it's like 5. Whatever.
I
Like,
really would like it to be only if when thinking about all of the sex I've had, I really would like
All of it.
only to be 4 individuals.
Whoa.
There are only 4 individuals. There are only 4
So, okay,
individuals
so-
that I would love to just say it was just these 4.
So just to turn it around, like whether we're talking to the general audience, but especially for maybe young gay guys, would you encourage them to be more selective?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Look at hey,
I don't know why I'm answering.
y'all right there who are watching this and or listening to this. I understand sexual freedom, do what you want. I'm not judging. I'm just saying from my personal experience, be selective. It's okay to be selective.
It is okay to be selective.
Self-preservation is a real thing.
It's a real thing, man.
Preservation is real.
Shit,
Which is
speaking of,
wild to me, not to cut you off.
no, you good.
Which is wild to me now because it's funny that me now in my 30s, speaking of what we're talking about, me now in my 30s, as I have what I found is that while everybody always talks about how gay guys are always like sexually free and they're always doing this, that, and the third, there are actually a lot of gay men, especially who from their 20s now in their 30s, who weren't as sexually liberated as I was in their 20s and are trying to be like that now in their 30s as I am talking to them.
that's how life works, though.
And it's just interesting now that it's just like I am being more selective. I am trying to intentionally date, but they're trying to live out what, not that they should have done it in their 20s, but what I did in my 20s. Like
No, because it's been there, done that. Like your
I've
past did.
I've moved past
Like
it.
in your development, like they're just like late bloomers, kind of.
Right. I've been around the world, and I think if I'm being honest, there is maybe one, however you want to call it, race, ethnicity of Actually, no. I think I paid them all. Yeah, no. I've done it. That was my 20s.
When I was a kid, I used to say that. Like, when I didn't, like, have sex yet, like, I just had, like, this plan.
Say what?
That I was gonna fuck, like, every single kind of guy there
I
was.
just wanted you to say it because that's what I thought in my head. And I'm
No,
like,
no,
I
no,
just
no.
wanted to
Like,
make sure
but
you
like,
said that
this
shit.
is like before. Like, I just thought it would be like a cool conquest, and I was like, okay, so
This was you, Mario? This was you? Yo, I'm
People are crazy. And I was like, oh, I could knock them off quicker if they're mixed.
dog. Yo.
I'm sorry, that was loud. No, I realized that was loud, but I couldn't help
telling
it.
my cousin, they were just like,
I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it.
no,
She said,
no.
She literally said exactly what I thought she was gonna say. Like, I'm like, wait, there's no
Dog,
way this is what she means. Like,
that
But
is
you
1,000%
have to
what
teach
she
young
means,
people,
though.
like, self-preservation, because like if they're just like thinking off the rails or with their imagination, like they want to conquer. It's crazy. Like
You got a
gotta teach
conquest,
them the way.
boy. Speaking of self-preservation, I feel like that was my biggest regret in still being in my 20s, but learning as we go.
Earlier 20s.
Yeah, in my younger 20s, because let me just say that there is a big difference between 20 and 25, and there's an even
It's a
bigger
jump.
difference between 25 and 30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you think about it like a decade. Like you're at a midpoint right
Yeah.
now. So you can look in hindsight at those 5 years, but you still have time ahead. So.
Right.
the way I kind of see it like the first 2 years.
Because how old? Tell the people how old you are.
I'm 29. by the
Like,
way.
did we tell the people? Did we tell
Yeah,
everybody? We
oh,
told everybody
no,
our ages.
We weren't recording it. I thought we were recording, by the way. when
Yeah,
we
nah,
did
not
that.
at that point.
So
So let's just preface
Kai
this.
is.
Hold on.
Now you taking a call during the.
You on speaker, sir. It's our A mic. I'm sorry. You said what? We go hit you back after the pod
My best
over.
friend is so chaotic. What did he
Be
do?
good, be safe, homie.
I'm worried.
So our boy Colin is having a hell of a day.
But as I was
I
saying,
am.
How old are you?
My age is 25.
32.
29.
3-0.
But as I was saying,
She make it sound smaller by saying it's smaller.
as I was saying,
I'm
not
about to
just
stop
with the-
telling niggas how old I am. Real right.
numbers.
How old I look, bitch.
Why you- Let me stop.
Nope. Nope. You just go back with what you were saying. Just go with what you were about to say.
Fuck. I like not just my 20s, but every decade. I kind of like see it into like 4 parts. Like the first 2 years, then like the next 3 years,
Yeah.
then the 3 years after that, and then the last 2 years kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like how you transition.
That's a
or
good way
whatever.
to break it up.
Yeah, because
You
that
had
20
eras.
to 20, yeah, that 20 to 22, you're kind of like
That's your freshman
kinda like
year
the
or your
same
20s?
person the whole time.
That's the
Kinda-
freshman year or your 20s?
Yeah, and then like 23 to 25, you transition a bit. And then like 20s, that 26 to 28.
You got college
you
figured out
kinda-
already,
yeah,
like-
you kind of who you are or whatever. And then at 28 to 30, you trying to be the best, like find that best version of yourself kind of thing. It's like, oh, I should be here. If you are there, congrats or whatever. You could have been
But
there.
toss
All right,
if you're
cool.
not.
So that's the
You
perfect
know.
way to put it.
So-
So when I was in my freshman year in my 20s, you know what I mean, like 20 to 22, and along the lines of self-preservation, sticking around for too long. Sticking around for too long was a big problem in my early 20s. I ended up in a situation that was less than desirable with somebody that I thought I was going to be with for a long time, and then paternity issues happened, to say the least. And it goes back to that that kind of like a learned behavior of like embracing toxic love and like the excitement and the passion that you feel in it. It's definitely not the best, but it's definitely it was something I was enjoyed and I was accustomed to, and it took me a while to learn. It's like, hey, love doesn't have to be stressful as a motherfucker. It really does not.
Love don't have to hurt, baby.
It don't.
It don't
And
have
love really it do hurt, but not in the way that like, you know, like you shouldn't have to fight for your life every fucking day, bro. It doesn't always have to be something. And this person is not the last person that will love you. She's not the first person that will love you. And it's like it doesn't have to be this fucking what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it doesn't have to be this constant battle. Like, you know, it's like love is a battle of growth and everything, but you shouldn't have to feel like you constantly fighting for the, you know, like fighting for your spot. Like, I guess that was kind of like what was in the back of my mind. I was over here like just thinking like, well, if I'm gonna fight for her, that's how you know you feel loved and everything, or like that's how you know you like they still into you, whatever. Like, just it's some toxic form of reassurance where it's like, you know, oh, yeah, like you see the fire in their eyes. They must really love you.
How did you get past that? Because you're still intense.
I know I'm intense, but it's
real. Recognize real. I'm intense too. That's not a jab. I'm
but
just saying, like
it's a more. I kind of take pride in. I guess now you could say it's kind of like. It's a more subtle intensity. Like, you still see the fire in my eyes, but when I look at you and I say, "Hey, that's not what we about to do." Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, because I still. It's still like I know I still got that beast in me, but it goes back to like I'm not fighting with you no more. Like, I'm gonna tell you what it is, and I'm gonna look you like in your face, and like, don't get me wrong, it's a lot it's a lot more boring for lack of a better term, but that's what real love is, and that's what most of life is. A lot of life is mundane.
Boring is fun in your 30s. I just want you to know boring is fun.
But you know what?
That's peace.
I like that too because there's a sureness of step that comes with maturity.
Yes, you can.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, there's just a sureness of step that comes with maturity. Like I feel like there were so many times in my 20s I was really, really scared.
I walked past them.
You said you were scared of what? I'm sorry.
I was really scared in my 20s.
Yeah, bro. I'm still scared.
But like the fear is like different.
Out,
like, I've been around enough to know like this is reasonable to be scared of instead of like constant anxiety. Like, I didn't know how anxious I was in my 20s.
I am diagnosed high functioning anxiety and manic depressive. And in my 20s I didn't know what that was. I was just moving through the world with all these emotions and all these feelings, and it was just like in your 20s, if you can afford, if it's a thing that can happen, look into therapy. Look into therapy in your 20s.
You don't have all the answers. Go get help.
You do not. The ignorance of youth is a real thing.
Get some help.
It truly is, because you. And I have this battle, because I have a 22-year-old younger brother, and I have this battle, not battle, but the discussions that like he and I have, and then we have with our parents, is that like there is this thing where like older people and older generations, like you know how they always say that, oh, younger people think they know everything, and I always say like,
it's really a thing.
Yeah, it's really y'all who think y'all know everything because y'all will always say that y'all been through X, Y, and Z, so y'all know everything. But I also tend to tell him a lot, like, you're very open, like they're very open to a lot of different things. But also there are some things that the older generation can teach you that like, or you can like learn from them in spite of what they did, like. That can help you kind of move through life differently. So therapy is great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think it is wilder for 20-year-olds now.
It's important to know how to interpret your emotions. That's
Yes.
One of the biggest things.
Emotional intelligence.
Yeah, because that's one of my biggest things that I've taken out of my 20s is just like learn when you need some water, and then also like just understand that. Because that was a big part of the reason why I stayed in those relationships as long as I did. Because like it was all reacting off of like what I felt in the moment, and like, you know, it feel good to say this, but in the long term, that's probably not the best thing for me to do. Or like, it feel like she loved me, but she probably don't. Like how you interpret things. Like my biggest thing was I took away from first it came from understanding that my anger is not something to react on, but something to sit with and understand. That like I feel like every emotion is like a primal signal that this is not a situation. This is either not a situation for you to be in, or this is a good situation for you to be in. And sometimes it could be back and forth, because not everything that's good for you feels good, and not everything that's bad for you feels bad. you know. So and it's really about coming to terms with learning what is what, and it's a very hard and very long journey because you never really know until you try. It's like, all right, is this like one of those things that feels like it's wearing me down, but it's really making me a better person, or is this actually just not for me?
Well, because your 20s too that's like the first instant where like your parents are making suggestions.
Yeah.
Like they're not telling you what the right answer is. So like
I still need guidance. Like,
being in your 20s is very much so like you're learning to parent yourself.
Yeah, man.
And you're like, damn, I can't eat pizza every day.
I
had a
sure as
chapter
fuck
like that.
can, man. What you think?
Yeah, you gotta grow up because you don't want to hit Thursday and realize you haven't eaten anything green this week.
You know, yeah, man.
No beige plates. I have this thing that I learned from a podcast. No beige plates. There
What
should
does that
always be
mean?
something green on it. It's like, for instance, at Thanksgiving, you get the turkey, you get the ham, you get the mac and cheese, potato salad, yams,
Anything brown.
but nothing green. No beige plates.
No
Put
beige
something
plates.
green. There was green in what you brought here today. There was green in there. Eat vegetables. Let me tell you something. Vegetables will save your life.
I'm actually lucky because I love vegetables, man. Vegetables are some of my favorite things to eat now.
But that's not common in all 20-year-olds.
It's not.
There's 20-year-olds that don't drink water.
There are
That's-
30-year-olds who
that's why
don't
I
drink.
can't- yo.
Have y'all seen Boosie lately? That man looks dehydrated. He looks like
He always says that.
he looks like the only water he gets is when the ice has melted in a cocktail he's had.
It's good.
Damn.
I don't understand that about people because I drink a lot of water and I always feel dehydrated. Like I really be thirsty as hell. I always got Carmax. Like I be feeling like I'm fighting for my life, and I drink hella water. Like I don't know how people could do
But
it.
that's how you make sure your lips aren't ashy is by drinking water. If you're hydrated, they're
Your
not-
skin,
Yeah.
your face.
Yeah, but people learn.
Moriel gave me a great humbling compliment earlier today about my skin. I drink, beyond my face routine, I drink water a lot.
Key to life.
Yeah, it is,
It's
man.
that simple.
That's that magic.
But touching back base to the whole your 20s thing and to kind of piggyback on the points you two were making, important thing that I would say and advice I would give on your 20s is that you truly need to figure out who you are first and foremost. A lot of us think that we know, or kind of all of us think that we know, whatever. None of us actually do. You never know until you do. Like
Nope.
you can be pretty sure at times. You could not know at all at times, you know. But when you know, you know. And then once you figure that out, the next step is to work on improving yourself. Like you were saying about I was saying about the steps and the time periods or whatever. You know, you figure out who you are first, and then you could do whatever you can with that afterwards. And that's all you could really do. You know, it's nothing else. There's no blueprint. No matter how much money you got 100 mil, you have 100 pennies.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you
Knowing-
still got to go through those same kind of steps.
All
'Cause
right.
look at young people like Juice WRLD and stuff. You know, people who take their lives and all kinds of shit. I forgot her name. Ab Soul's girlfriend. Like she took her like young, rich, you know, successful, beautiful, all of these things that people idolize as, this is what a healthy life looks like, you know, and ain't nothing healthy about being dead. Like,
It's
you know,
not.
so-
Even to piggyback off with, for instance, because we were just talking about relationships and things. Like something that I know about myself in relationships is I am what I've learned, and it took all of my 20s and going through the fact that I was doing all for better part of a decade, doing all the strictly just sexual things, no intimate and actual intentional relationships. Now in my 30s, what I know now is that I am a simp. The man that I am a simp.
Yeah,
if
boy.
I say that I if I actually say that I like you and I'm into you,
Simp squad.
I will do for you always and forever. I will give, I will do, and it's wild because
Let me
for
cater
a
to you.
decade, I kept such a wall up because I didn't want to be. A part of it was I didn't want the people in my life to. Weirdly saying this is that I didn't want people in my life to think that I was actually gay. Like I felt like if people saw that I was like in a relationship. If people saw that I was like in a relationship and like loving on another guy, that weirded them out. So I kept that well up. But also, it's like I don't want to be that guy to like get my heart broken. Do you know that I experienced I'm 32. I experienced my first heartbreak 2 years ago when I was 30. My first ever heartbreak.
Nah, and
That tracks.
That's one of the
That
one of the
tracks.
things about really like it's like almost saying like not everything that's good for you feels good and not everything that's bad for you feels bad. Like it kind of goes both ways too. It's like in order for you to really love and to really let somebody in, you have to open yourself up to actually
and
being
I
hurt.
didn't until I was 30.
Right.
But what I realized too, even to this day, I am just that guy. Like I will, if you text me and say that, oh, you had, and this could be a Tuesday, oh, you had a difficult day. Not that anything awful or horrible happened. The day was just a little bit inconvenient for you. I will DoorDash you or Instacart you roses, wine, and Bonchon chicken wings just because you said you had a bit of a difficult day.
You know what I had to learn in my 20s?
Hey, yo, get you a Keith.
You know what I had to learn in my 20s? You can't simp for everybody.
You
And-
can.
but that-
You
no, but
cannot
that's the thing.
simp for
That's
everybody.
the thing that again I'm learning which I should have learned I'm learning in my 30s
Oh, I learned the hard way.
Keith
all
spent
my
a lot
20s.
of money on these hoes.
Piggybacking off each other's points too, because as you was going off, and then she said that right after. All I was thinking is, look out for the friend zone kind of thing. And when you said the whole sim thing, because like I said, I grew up thinking I was Prince Charming. Like I wanted to be in love. The people that I wanted, I really wanted you. I didn't care what your situation was. Like I want what I want or whatever. Man, the shit built character, but at the end of the day, you could do without it. Like you could do without it. Like she said, watch who you simp for. It might end up biting you in the ass.
That's something in the Bible I think everyone should protect your heart.
Hey,
Protect your heart, please.
keep your heart, 3 stacks.
Protect
Keep your heart.
I think
like,
I hit
man, I
the
got
two
stomped
extremes.
out.
I hit the two extremes legitimately, like, and you want to know what's wild? That like that's a part of like, and I don't know if anybody, whoever out there is listening, if you believe in things like this, but a lot of people say that me as an October Scorpio, I don't have a middle ground. I am two extremes with a lot of things with a lot of things in life, and I'm realizing that that's very true. Like I don't have a middle ground with people. Either I like you or I don't like you. There's no iffy about you. Like if I like you, I really love you. But if I don't like you, I will not acknowledge that you exist. But also, like I just said, for a decade, I had my heart closed, and now that I have it open, I have it open.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
careful.
have it open.
That tracks. That
Careful.
tracks. But you see, that's something I learned from my 20s. It was like, okay, when you know who you are, because that's an important, part of self-discovery. Once you have a good footing on who you are, you have to move accordingly. Because, like, if you know you're sensitive, you just can't put yourself in situations to get hurt all the time.
Yeah, nah.
That's not a way to live. Like, or, like, for me, I'm intense. Like, anybody that is a object of affection for me is, so you mine, right? Like, I don't care if I met you yesterday. Like, you're mine now. Like, I don't play that. I don't be playing with nobody.
So this who you with, right? This who you with?
But I think what was odd for me too is just like when I wasn't getting treated the best, I don't think people thought that I would skip town on them. Like, I was intense for the moment, but when I'm not, to your point, I don't have a middle ground either. So, like, they'll know, like, a really loving side of me and this tender part that I allowed them to see.
I'm trying
but,
to get waves like this, man.
keep
I am
access
so
to it.
sorry, Moria. I am
happened?
so sorry to
Wave
interrupt.
check.
I'm just trying to get no. I was trying to get waves like this, man. Like
Oh, I'm like, am I scared? Like, what's
I
happening?
have ripples right now. Like this is a kiddie pool. I'm trying to get.
Bro said wave check. We was not ready for that
I
quiz.
just wasn't. Sorry, Moriel. Continue what you were saying.
Send a lifeboat. Keith is about to drown.
Drown, boy.
Oh,
Splash.
but yeah, like if you're intense, you need to find someone as intense as you are. If you would like to be a simp, you need to find someone that is safe to simp with. Like,
And that's what I'm trying to get. Cause
you'll get there.
I don't know if I'm there yet, but like cause I'm just like, what's like, I listen intently to people. So like, even again, before we started recording, I talked about the cancer, not him, but a cancer that I am currently dealing with,
Chaos.
and the fact that like
Chaos.
he just
Control chaos.
so confused about the fact that like he had randomly in passing said that his mother had liked certain things, right? And so this was a couple months ago, and then recently his mom had knee surgery. So I was like, he lived in DC, by the way. So I was like, he was coming back up here. So I was like, hey, I know you're coming back up here. I put together this basket of things because my mom went through knee surgery, so I know what that's like. I put together this basket of things for your mom that just went through knee surgery. I know that you said that she likes Mr. Goodbars. She loves she said that she's always wanted a diffuser, so I got her a diffuser. It's like $15. I put the little things like a sleep one, lavender one, so she'll have that in there. And I just kind of put together this basket. I put some skincare things in there too, so that she'll have. As well as I got her like this pillow to hold her knee up.
Get you a Keith,
so that
man.
she'll have.
I'm about to cry.
Get you a Keith.
This is so nice. This is mad
I
nice.
sent him a text, called me, and was like shocked and legit actual confusion as to why I did that. And I'm just like, you are someone I care
I
about.
love you.
Like, you're somebody I
Like,
care
what
about.
was there to be confused
You told
about?
me that your mother is going through this thing that not only beyond the fact that like my mother went through it as well, so I know what that trying to take care of somebody like that is like, but your mother is going through something difficult
It's traumatic.
and getting a knee replacement.
It's not.
That is
getting old ain't easy.
wild.
Yeah. My knees
Here's
always worked
something
my whole
she's-
life. I couldn't imagine one of them giving out on me. I'd be
So here's
distraught.
some things she likes. Maybe this will make her feel better. You're confused. What?
Because no one's ever loved him like that. And that's the gag of it all. Like, when you simp for the right person, you can have, like, the space and the opportunity to do all the sweetest things your heart desires without repercussions. So, just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it won't.
There could be repercussions though, because if you're doing these things and your intentions aren't, to see that all the way through. Because say that person, Keith gives him 5 more reasons to say like, hey, I want to marry this man or whatever,
But if
Keith's but I'm saying, and
Right.
you're
No, I
just
get
not-
that.
You don't want to marry.
It's
him.
toxic.
Like,
That becomes then toxic.
I was just about to say because
That could become like while my personal intention is to, because I really like this guy, I will, but
this is just what I do.
it could be that I'm just doing it just to get in his draws. It could honestly just be that.
How will I know?
Like, yeah, you gotta watch out.
I mean, but, like... So,
How
he-
do you
and-
know?
You want to know what I will admit to you right now?
Let's hear it.
Again, in my 20s, when I had my wall up, while I can and do naturally do these things, in my 20s, I did that just to get that.
Yeah, you gotta manufacture. That's what I'm saying. Like, you manufacture these things.
I
sometimes.
did
Like,
that
it's not
just
really
to get the ass
like,
in my
she's like,
20s.
damn.
You were simping for fate?
Yes, just to get the ass in my 20s.
It's like a whole new world.
Don't get you a 20-year-old Keith.
20, legitimately 21 to 29-year-old Keith was somebody you did not want to date. You did not want to. If you express interest in any love or romantic way, you were going to hate me 2 weeks after.
No, as a friend, I was concerned.
It's like, bet I could do that for you.
Are you?
I was like, no, he's savage. Like,
Warrior was there.
I was.
There were. I distinctly remember telling a set of roommates that we were never in a relationship. So yes, I came over and fucked you, and then went across the hall and fucked him the same night. It's just.
I ain't even mad at you. 'Cause I know a lot of homies that be on the same.
Damn, double homicide.
like legitimately, I've put you to sleep already, but I'm texting your roommate. I'm saying, oh, he's asleep. You good now for me to come? He's like, yeah, I've unlocked my door. I just walk in. I come to you, but I say to you, okay, we're done, but I have to go back to his bedroom because he's who I initially came with. So
Which one do you love more? The one that you honest with, or the one that think they the only one?
I didn't love either of the niggas. I ain't love either of the niggas.
The question is neither of the above.
That's what you want to talk
None
about.
of the
Somebody
above.
who had the streets call. The streets weren't calling me. The streets had my name etched. The Black Lives Matter sign in the streets said Keith.
Bro, that not your government. Bro, this man Keith owned the streets. Did y'all?
But you know what?
Did
That's
y'all
one
ever
thing. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say. So, speaking of things that y'all regret, did y'all ever run into somebody who was the equivalent of a 21 to 29-year-old Keith that you might regret from your 20s,
You know what?
or just any experience in general that you might regret from your 20s?
No. I got scraped in my 20s. Like my feelings was hurt. Like honestly, because like one thing that I am happy about, like just because of my like general disposition, I wasn't getting like dogged out. Like when you hear about like stuff that like girls go through, like it wasn't that bad, but my feelings were hurt. My feelings were
feel sad.
Because as intense you are sensitively intense as well.
right.
You heard her. She said from the first day, it's like, this who you with? Like,
But then like also because like those feelings were so big, it's just like I would take everything personally.
You know what? Sorry to cut you off. You know what you remind me of? I just saw this meme the other day. It was like, yo, y'all really be kissing on the first link up, and then the next message was, I be trying my hardest not to say I love you.
I was never kissing on the first link up. It took me a while to like people.
That's me. I love you. You know what I'm saying?
No. I need a slow burn. You know.
Like an incense. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
But
I was
leading
ready
up
to say I love you on this. I was ready to say I love you on that first night I saw him. I'm gonna be real honest with you. This young man I've been from now in my 30s. The first time I walked into his door, I have never been a person to believe in love at first sight. When I saw him, I was like, oh shit.
Damn it.
Shit.
Damn it.
I'm not gonna hold you. I almost wanted to leave.
You're like, you're not gonna ruin my life.
I don't know about soulmates, but I definitely believe in love at first sight because you experience a few of those, and like you know, that you definitely can just like, oh, like you know, and it's kind of, I feel like not all the time, but most of the time I've experienced, I want to say like 3 times kind of thing, not absolute love, but just that crazy infatuation. Like I feel like most of the time both parties kind of experience the same thing. Like you know, if you know what I'm saying.
I have,
it could be wrong.
Because somehow, some way, I found on TikTok, because, you know, TikTok is a wild place.
Wow,
somehow, some way, I found myself on, like, both astrology and twin flame TikTok.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
So I found myself, like, on that version of TikTok. And when they talk about certain things, I'm just admit it here. Not like I said, when I first saw him, I was like, that's love at first sight. But what I know to be true, and this is, and this either is going to end in a great union, or it's going to end in me getting severely heartbroken, is that I do, and I'm gonna use this word intentionally, unconditionally love him, because with the idea that I might get my heart broken, knowing that is a possibility,
You're still continuing.
I'm still going to continue doing everything that I've been doing.
Yeah.
Respect.
It'd be
I'm
like
still
that.
going to continue to do everything. The way I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, I'm going to continue it.
With
the
There's some rides you just gotta get on, man.
Right, and I'm not. But I'm not gonna run. Like I just
gotta see it through.
So again,
to see it through,
Got
my boy.
to see it.
he lives in DC. He's up here this weekend because it's Pride weekend and everything.
Be who you are.
I saw him
because
because he's originally from Jersey, but he's seeing a lot of his friends right now. I saw him on Friday. I got him his favorite candy. And this is the same guy.
Start checking people on my phone. Like, well, what are you doing?
What are you doing for me, really? Like,
This is the same guy whose mother had the
So you gagged him again.
I got his mother 2 more of the liquid things for her diffuser. I got his father Cohiba cigar because he likes cigars too, and his sister some makeup stuff and products that I had.
Oh,
and
so
I
you
got
a
him some
topic in the
flowers.
household.
Yeah,
Yes,
word.
yes. I'm also a topic in the household now.
Keith a household name now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm also a topic in the household now.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah, bro, he putting manipulation.
But in the best way. But in the best way possible. But like, cause like they'll ask. He'll tell me that they'll ask him about me, and he'll say he's good and everything. Like we were just like each other.
So
and
one
all
of your
that.
love languages
Got
is
him.
gift giving.
I
Like
love-
you love giving gifts.
I do. Because I enjoy making people feel, and not even necessarily giving a physical gift, but just I love doing for people that I love.
I know.
In
I'm an
any
acts
way,
of service
shape I
kind of
can.
person. Like I do a lot for my family and loved ones.
I know for a fact as soon as Keith found out that Pops was asking about him, he got him.
We got him.
I do.
Hook and sink.
I do.
Yo.
I know I got him. I know one time, because also this has been something we've been talking for, and there's a reason we haven't made it official, but we've been talking for a little less than a year now. And for instance, his cousin knows about me too because I had a chain. I was over at his house when he was in Jersey one time, and I had a chain on, and we were getting physical, and the cross on the chain came off. He had sent me pictures like, "Oh, you left your cross here." I came to pick it up one time while his cousin went over, but when I came and picked it up, mind you, it was just to pick up the cross. His favorite color is orange. I brought him orange roses over to his house.
Oh,
Just to
family
pick
gonna keep talking about that.
Mind you, I had already sent him red roses. He just added the orange roses to the red roses, but I had brought the flowers over just because I was seeing him. Like that's just the kind. Honestly, that's just the kind of guy I am.
He's so romantical.
I might have
He's
to
so
say-
romantical.
He's making me feel inferior right now. Like I ain't doing it right. Like,
But you know
kinda
what? As a
crazy
too much doer, I'm like, wow.
It's really kind of crazy to think that Keith used to use these powers for evil, man. Like,
And he did.
With great
No.
power comes
I-
great
I-
But
responsibility.
that's something I regret
I
about my
did.
20s. I wish I had a better villain error.
Good-
I didn't have one.
good segue.
And like, I should have hurt a lot of people's feelings.
So you regret
No,
not being
for
a
real, like-
you really regret not being a heartbreaker.
Not even a heartbreaker, because like people having feelings for me isn't my business. That don't got nothing to do with me.
Spoken like a true heartbreaker.
That's how I felt in my 20s.
But like,
If you love me, that's your business.
I
Keep it
should
to
have
yourself.
slapped bitches. I should have really like I should have turned up a lot more. And I was like, I didn't wild enough. That's like, you remember when I was telling you about the wilding out I have to do tonight? Like never used to wild, and because of not wilding, I know no one respected me.
But I know
so
know
now I
that
gotta wild.
that beast was always in you though, because we know where we now know where your Instagram handle came from. So it was always in there somewhere.
But also, I had an ex that said I was petty, and at first I was like, no, but like, yeah. I don't mean to be a petty person.
I used to think petty was an insult until I realized how much like I actually do like being petty.
No,
Like,
you
I'm not
know what?
gonna
It's not
lie.
even being petty.
It
I
is
care
fun.
about justice.
Yeah.
Okay?
exactly.
So.
However that comes. However that might
Gotcha.
come.
I don't want to wait for
However
karma.
that
They're going to
comes.
take too long. I got to take this into my own hands.
However, granted, an eye for the eye makes the whole world blind, but Stevie Wonder is functioning out here. I'll be blind.
You feel me?
And like.
And he still said,
I'm
"Isn't she
very much
lovely?"
So I'm going to get my look back now. So, like, we could play all the games anybody wants to play. Like, you won't like when I throw my towel in the ring. So.
You would not like it. Not like it one bit.
I'm a lot more dangerous, I guess. But, like, still not that much.
So Moriel, she missed her villain era.
No, I was way too
I
nice.
stayed too
I was way
long.
too nice in my 20s.
You stayed too long. I had too long of a villain era. There we go. I had too long of a villain era.
So Quill, the last one's on you, man. Do you want to share or you want to plead the fifth on this one?
No, to be honest, my regrets in my 20s isn't even focused on nothing besides like actual school, like seeing all and things like that. The way I handle my social life and stuff like that.
Amen.
I came in like very well off academically and all that shit, and I fell off like terribly. Like I was looking to go into their basketball program. I had a 4.0 GPA coming out of that EOP program and all kinds of shit. And I just fumbled all of that, just drinking, enjoying myself,
Well,
whatever.
not to interrupt you at
partying.
all.
What's up?
You just said you went to Seton Hall University.
Yeah. I went
How
to
did I
Seton
not know
Hall.
that? How did no one tell
That's
me
how
that?
I know.
Everybody in this room went to see her.
How did I not know?
Yeah, I've seen you on
Oh,
Seton
it's
Hall
real.
before. Like,
Now, word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
But nah,
I knew
I could-
Quill. Like, he was our
I
year.
am so sorry, Quill.
it's all good. Don't worry about it.
But I could definitely.
I've seen you on campus before. Like I've seen you with Colin and all of them before.
But you
like,
know
so
what?
I don't remember.
Quill
where-
also looks different.
Yeah, I do. I was like, wait, I'm fat again. Like I gained like 60 pounds. Let's not talk about that. But I used to be like fatter than this.
Oh my god.
Nah, but like I can empathize with that too. Like that, like feeling like you fumbled, like through your academic performance and everything. It's like when I was in school, I started out. I got into the pre-med pre-dent version of EOP. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
I remember this.
And
about
then
you.
like
There you are,
I
bro.
got kicked out of that by like my junior year. I lost my scholarship junior year. I just barely graduated, and I just, knowing what I know now, I wish I would have kept my head on straight just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But granted, I was going through the relationships, figuring out, and I'm not trying to make excuses, but like I can definitely like empathize with that. So I guess the best way to segue that, and I want to start with you and to ask you this question to segue into our next bullet point is like, so where would you say that your values really lied in your 20s, like when you were coming up? Like you say you regretted, like from
Pause real quick, because I want to just make another point before I forget. Because
Nah,
I
go
feel
ahead,
it's
do your
slipping
thing.
already. Back to that regret where I said there was so much that no, I just remember. Sorry, freedom is the point I was gonna make. That freedom was like my biggest enemy entering my 20s. Like I grew up in church for like 12 straight years, kind of thing.
Yup.
Like I'm the kind of people that like grandparents like dream of. Like the kind of kid grandparents, always help with this, and
He's a good man,
he
Savannah.
always did it. Like like I really tried to like
Mario,
that
get
kind
out.
of people pleaser kid, and
Yeah.
you always just go above and beyond for people. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Nah.
It's not the best thing for you though. When I
It's
got
not
that freedom,
sustainable.
yeah, it's not exactly. That's exactly
not.
what it is. But when I finally had got that freedom, after because EOP is structured, they give you a lot
Yes,
of
it is.
time
You
to
get
do
your
everything.
summer to do
So
everything. and
I
then
was
once
I was good at doing the things that they wanted me to do, so I used to do it fast.
actually your
and get it
entire
out of the
freshman
way.
year after the summer.
But once that was over, and I didn't have that structure anymore, I didn't have nobody like no beast on my back or whatever.
Right.
Like I let that freedom carry me away. Like I spent way too much time playing basketball in the gym, way too much time drinking. Like I said,
That's a
it was
fact.
time management was severely lacking. All kinds of things. I did my very first semester of college, yo, and it's a damn shame because we paid $50,000 for that shit. Well, 25 for the one semester, whatever. I had straight A's in 5 of my 6 classes. I literally finished with my report card that year with 1 A and all failures on every single other class because I thought I had an understanding with these professors that if I did your work and you see that I have absolutely no problems doing your work, I don't have to come to your class. I hated it, to be honest. It
Right.
wasn't for me, whatever. And like I said, academically, like on the books and actual work, and I did your work. You know that I did your work. I did, but I missed those 6 classes. I missed way more than those 6 classes,
And 3
And it's
classes
like,
was
'cause
an
I didn't-
automatic fail.
Yeah, I'm like they were
Yep.
they were 5 of them
Yep.
automatic fails. All of them were,
Yep.
were automatic
It
fails.
had nothing to
And
do
it's
with
like
your
nothing.
output.
Yeah,
Right.
I
It
just
was
didn't
the fact
go.
that you
didn't
did
go.
show up.
Yeah, so
Yep.
and
Yeah.
that
it's like
it goes back to like what Moriel say too. Is like in your 20s, you're learning how to parent yourself because that was a big issue with myself too. It's like as soon as you said it, like that freedom, that's another thing that you got to learn how to navigate. Because I came up again like kind of the same thing. It's like I needed somebody to tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. And when you get older and it's like, oh, it's all on you now. Like nobody's gonna tell you. It's like I was told what to do my whole life, and then all of a sudden I hit this certain age, and it's like,
So
all
it's
right,
on me now?
figure out what you want to do. It's like, I've been
There-
taking orders my whole
There
life.
is no trend because even I did the EOP summer as well.
Me
There
too.
is no accurate transition because you're coming from high school where your parents are waking you up. EOP summer, your mentors there, the like older people there, they have to wake up because it's their job to wake you up because you're a part of their class, like they are in charge of you.
Yeah.
So they're waking you up, and then you get to fall semester, you have to wake yourself up.
Yep. That's exactly what happened.
You
And
know
even
what?
if you're
I was
familiar
very
with that kind of
mature.
responsibility, like I said, because I was too, but having that freedom, I'm telling you, I used to always used to feel so busy as a kid. Like, you know, you always have something to do. If you got to go to the park and have fun, I'm the oldest of 2 siblings, of 3 siblings, whatever, including myself. And, you know, you always got to take care of somebody. You
Always gotta take care of somebody.
You know, like, it's always something, like, kind of
That's
thing.
another
Plus your
conversation
school
that we
and
got
all
to
that
talk
other stuff.
about.
You know, you get that little bit of freedom. You really, like, you can relax too much. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
like, you know, you can relax.
Yes.
You can lose some better parts of yourself just trying to escape that kind of
But
lifestyle.
it's not your
Like,
fault. I want
No,
you. I wanna
everything
make
is your fault. That's one thing I
that's
would
a
say
real
to you about
thing.
people in their 20s too. That I don't like that whole, like, accountability is one of my biggest things ever.
Yes.
Although I just said all of these things about Seton Hall and how I regret and all this other stuff, ain't nobody fault but my own.
Right.
Like, basketball, I'm 6'5", me not going to the NBA, all that. Like, I'm great at basketball. All that shit's my fault. No matter who didn't teach me, no matter who didn't, your fault. Accountability is key.
But here's the thing, like, it's because it's true what they say. Not everything is your fault, but like what they say. Because I just finished reading this book recently, and this is the most important thing. Like one of the most important things that stuck out to me from it is like, not everything might not be your fault, but it's always your responsibility.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, so like so you sometimes you can't control what happens to you. Sometimes
You always can't control. You can't always control your circumstances.
You
How you
can't
were
always-
raised, who raised you, but but it is your responsibility, like,
to learn how to navigate it.
and go through that later.
And I wasn't trying to take the accountability away from you. I was more so saying like, what's done is done. Make sure you forgive yourself for it, because like through
Give
our
yourself grace.
give yourself grace, because like all of us hit our heads in different ways on the ride. Okay.
Yeah, man.
We all got different bumps and bruises. But it's like, okay, those are your scars. Those are what made you who you are now. So it's like, it's done, but it was a part of your development and it made you a better man. So it's like, okay.
Right. So it's like, and again, that's a slow learning curve right there, especially when you come up like us, where it's like, again, like even going from like high school, like even elementary to high school, like they're always saying like, these are the classes that you gotta take. You gotta pass these classes. You should apply to college. You should do this. You should do that. And then immediately, like right after that EOP summer, all that structure is out the window. You gotta show up for your study hours, but now it's like, okay, you need to go to your advisor and figure out what classes you need to take for your degree. You need to figure out if you need to get a job and like pay for X, Y, Z. You need to make sure you can eat. I did not eat a lot when I was at college because I was like, I would go the whole day, go to class, do this, do that, and I lay down in my bed and I'd be like, yo, did I fucking eat today? Like I might have realized that I was hungry at some point, but it wasn't scheduled.
Your
like
parents
hard.
would have fed you. You gotta
Yep.
feed
It
yourself.
wasn't hard scheduled into my day, so I was over here like, yo,
That is
like
the one thing that. The one thing. Now, granted, what I'm about to say might sound toxic the way she went about this, but I enjoy it. When I came out to my mother, again, I was 18 years old. This was 2010.
Right.
The one thing she did state for me is that she was like, "I'm gonna teach you how to cook. We gonna get this clothing thing and this cleaning thing done." That's toxic because it should not be my responsibility to take care of another man.
But you could appreciate it though.
But I appreciate it because it meant I could do it for myself too as well, like clean, cook down.
But you could
Wash
also.
But
clothes.
your mom did what she knows, because your mom is a wife. So she
Right.
gave you things that.
And had 3 boys.
Yeah.
And then the one that came out, the one that was going to be dating other men, you're gonna learn all of
The
this.
thing I like the most about that parenting situation right there is that she said, "Oh, if I would have known this was skills you needed a long time ago, you'd have been had it," kind of thing. Like it wasn't even no choice. It wasn't no like condescension or nothing like that. It was just like, "Oh, you need that here. I got that for you." Like,
Word.
I mean, she made you more independent across
She
the board.
did. She did. 'Cause I can. Let me tell you something. I cooks down, y'all.
I cook now. That's what I came out with the pandemic. I'm like a fabulous auntie now. I can bring the banana pudding, the mac and cheese.
Go
just let me
ahead,
know.
Moriel.
So
Fabulous.
it's a skill.
auntie.
It's a skill.
But to your point, I'm sorry because I definitely sidetracked this.
No, you good. Cause I still wanted you to finish your point and make sure everybody got they whole
What they had to
spiel.
say out?
Yeah, there you go. Appreciate you. Keith helped me get what I had to say out. You know what I mean? So it goes back to now, I guess more retrospectively for y'all. Like, what would you say that you valued at the time in your 20s? Was it like, were you thinking about long-term security and like long-term, or were you just kind of like more so living in the moment? I'm only going to be this age once. Me speaking for myself personally, I'm trying to find that balance because coming from a home where everything wasn't always stable. I like to have security in my life and know that I'm gonna be okay. And honestly, with rent prices right now, I have no idea what the hell I'm gonna do. Like, I would be a lot more better off if I knew how I could make ends meet. But right now, my whole mindset is stuck on, like, you need to figure out how you're going to be able to sustain yourself. And it kind of sucks because I would like to be able to do some fun things. Like, I would like to be able to go on some vacations when I'm 20 or whatever. But, like, when I'm barely putting shit together, you know, or, like, I'm trying to save up and make sure I can do this or put a down payment on a house or whatever, like, I almost feel like I have to prioritize that over the having fun and, you know, being young once and things like that. And it's a battle that I constantly struggle with in my own mind.
Yeah.
Because I would like to experience things. I'm young. I have a lot of things that I would like to try. I'm still trying to figure out who I am. And
But you're like surviving.
yeah. You know? And
That's real.
I'm not trying to say that I'm in the most dire of circumstances. Like, I live pretty comfortably, but at the same time, it's also like there's no room for like expansion. Like, even with some of my hobbies, like I work 6, sometimes 7 days out the week, and I don't always have the energy to have fun when I get home. You know what I mean? Like, I work construction. I'm over here lifting, moving shit all day. Sometimes I get home, I just want to lay the fuck down. Like, I don't got time to explore my avenues.
You grown man tired.
Yeah. Now I see why my dad don't like talking to people when he came home from work. You know what I mean? Like, look, let me shit, shower, shave, and then don't talk to me.
Could y'all
like,
imagine having the days y'all have and having to come home and deal with y'all kids?
Nah.
Shit. I have a kid.
Fuck them kids.
But to say you
I'm
deal
sorry.
with that.
So,
You deal with
I
that.
don't disagree with you.
You deal with that. I was about to say, but could
I couldn't imagine.
It's
I don't
different.
understand. I am 32. So at 32, my mother had 3 boys to feed when she came home from work.
Yeah, bro. That
We were some serial kids. I'm not gonna lie.
yo.
Oh no, peanut butter and jelly. Go make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And you know what I would have to, because at that point I'm 11 years old. Keith, go make y'all some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I was making hamburgers and pancakes in 4th grade.
Shout out to Captain Crunch, boy. Like, that's all I gotta say, man.
Sorry, Kai. Repeat the point one more time, because
Right,
I did
the
have
question
a response for you, but I kind of
All
just
should
lost it
answer.
a little bit.
No, you good. It was basically like, what did you feel like you valued more in your 20s? Like, was it more your freedom and like being young and going out and experiencing things, or were you thinking more like long term goals and trying to establish
I remember what I was
yourself?
gonna say now. I feel like I did have a delicate balance of looking out for like my future and how and having things go according to plan or whatever. But the thing I wanted to say the most, and it's gonna seem kind of controversial, because it can be taken to an extreme that it doesn't benefit anybody.
Right.
But it don't fucking matter. Is what I really want to say. Is that your 20s should honestly just be about surviving every single day. And if you're a minority and you're black like myself, surviving takes a deeper meaning than how I originally meant it. But still, you got to survive. You get through those days. And like I said, try to make yourself better. And that'll be the most beneficial to you. Because all of that, I got this plan for where I'm going to be at this point in my life and all this other stuff. And 27, I want this. I'm going to have a girlfriend I want to marry. And 30, I'm going to get married. 35, I'm going to have kids.
You're just going
All
to
that-
disappoint
none of that
yourself.
shit-
Yeah, man.
And even if you achieve all of those things, like, you're not going to feel a little bit better. Like, none of it really, you just put in extra baggage on yourself. The world is hard enough already. Life is hard enough on its own. Just try to get through every single day a little bit better than you were yesterday. Like, I don't really...
Amen,
wants to
Pastor
too much
Quill,
else.
man. Amen.
For me, like my 20s, I have fun in my 20s. Like, besides being like brokenhearted, I had a ball. Because every time I would like be broken up with or something, I had like a mission to like make niggas miss me. So I'm like,
Hey, yo.
so I would be on every vacation. I was working out. I'm like, I'm gonna be hotter than I ever was before. Like, so I was in Caravana in 2016. Like, I had a really good time. But I probably was doing the stuff for the wrong reasons. But
That shit
had a
works,
ball.
though.
No,
That shit
because
works.
honestly, the only thing I got right was that you are supposed to focus on yourself when you come out of something, and you're supposed to like level up. Like, so I had that mentality right, but I was like, no, I'm gonna make this nigga chest hurt.
You gonna feel chest pains with me, boy.
Now I don't know if I accomplished it or not, but that was what I was thinking. doing.
Moriel, one of them girls, like post breakup, she like you just see in the passenger seat and you just see the M3 on the freaking dashboard. Like, yeah.
I did that to one guy I dated. He like drove an Acura, so I got a newer one than him.
Damn.
That's petty. You always
Damn.
talk about you petty.
Damn.
That's petty.
Damn.
Oh, that's petty.
Just
petty.
I
damn.
literally upgraded from you, bro. Like, literally.
Dog.
I don't take disrespect lightly.
Hey,
Well, I'll say for me.
Damn.
In my 20s, I know I definitely valued experience more. I wish I would have
Oh,
planned
we know.
more.
We know.
I wish I would have planned more for my 30s, but in my 20s, it was about the experiences. However, what I will say about that is that I found my tribe in my 20s. My greatest friends, the people that I'm
that's a point I forgot.
here with now in this life, like
It's a beautiful thing.
it's happening right now.
For
Like,
real.
the person who you guys can't see him, but the man behind the camera, filming this right now.
Shout out to Mr. Red 19.
I think there was
Mr. Pretty
I think there was one day where we met in the Greek room. I forget what happened, but from then on, been rocking ever since.
Homies.
Friendship at first
We
sight.
legitimately walked around one day with atomic wings from Cluck U,
Damn.
asking our friends and filming them eating the atomic wings.
Oh, did you get the like dangerous ones that you?
Yes,
gotta
the
sign
ones
waiver
that
for?
that you should not.
Why would
and-
y'all do that?
Because it was just some shit we thought we should
It
do.
was something to do that day.
So while
It was
I
the YouTube era.
I 100% valued experiences over like planning and everything. Like these people and everybody in that are like my chosen family.
Word. And that's important, man.
Yeah, that's a big point. My bad.
Nah,
To
go ahead.
cut you off. That's a big point that none of us really touched on either. Is the whole friendship thing. Like, yo, showing love is extremely important in your 20s because it comes back full circle. It definitely benefits you in the smaller ways and some of the bigger ways than you'll ever see. Like, you can't really comprehend some of the things that friendship will really do for you. Like, you know, it's certain things that you truly can't appreciate unless you like don't have it, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
Like, some people will see your situation and from the outside looking in, they'll say like, hey, you know, X, Y, Z, and it'll really make you appreciate it. Like, you'll randomly call it like, yo, you know, thank you for always being there, whatever. Like, I try to do that with my friends a lot more these days. You know, just the friends that it kind of falls through the cracks how much it piles up that y'all do for each other.
Word.
Even though it's always like, you know, reciprocation and stuff like that. But it's good to just, you know, try to keep in contact or whoever it is. Even if it's 8 years ago, y'all used to have that crazy love.
That is one thing also, the difference between friendship in your 20s and your 30s is that now I know that I cannot talk to my friends every day,
Nah.
all day.
Nah,
I
hell
might
no.
not speak to
Hell
you
no.
for a good 6 weeks, but when we do talk,
It's like nothing ever happened.
Oh my gosh, like being in your 30s is missing your friends all the time. These bitches are having babies. They're
Yes.
getting married. They're moving away.
Jesus
Starting a new
Christ.
life somewhere else. Like, you could be missing your friends indefinitely. Like,
Ah,
that's
for
just how it
real.
is. And honestly, I think the most fun thing about your 20s is like, yeah, we like were in college and like we were all someplace when we were like 20, 21. But everyone's journeys and what like has their experiences that brought them to where they are now, like now we know some lawyers.
Yeah.
Now we know some rappers.
Word, like-
like everyone's journeys were so interesting. So it's really cool to like see your friends find themselves and, you know,
And I
live different lives.
I feel like another key thing that happens in your 20s, at least what happened for me, is like, I know it's not the same for everybody, but in my 20s was the first time that I experienced having somebody that was my age die.
Oh.
And I know it's heavy, but at the same time, it also kind of it puts into perspective because like when you're young, you feel like you got your whole life ahead of you, and you feel like you might feel like you're invincible, like you got time and everything, and then you just realize that somebody that you grew up with is no longer with y'all, and it got taken away from either circumstances that weren't completely in their control or the decisions that they made put them in that situation.
It hurts.
And it does. It goes to remind you, it's like, yo, like you might be young and you might be expected to have a long lifespan, but like that, it could just all be like it's a wrap.
Nah, I'm
During
from
senior
Newark.
hall years, losing my sophomore year, that the start of my sophomore year, September of 2010, losing Jess at that shooting party was devastating. I fucked up my sophomore year because of it. Like it was my sophomore year. I almost failed out of Seton Hall.
That shit was down the street from my house.
Right by that White Castle. Like it was. That was traumatic.
No, it's terrible.
That was, and I like to piggyback off what you're saying. Like I get that. Like that was awful. So.
And it don't stop.
It don't.
That's what's
trauma
the worst
definitely.
thing. Cause like I'm from Newark, so I had classmates getting shot in 8th grade.
Yeah,
Like,
trauma plays a
real
big part in your
terrible.
20s as well. Because what you call it, look at this, the stuff like and stuff like that during Seton Hall, like that had played a big part on my upbringing. Like just my entire experience in the 20s when he got like arrested for that whole thing or whatever. Like that definitely, hit different because that's somebody I was with every single day,
Right.
kind of thing, And they made a mistake, and sure, they gotta own it. Like I said, big on accountability. You gotta own your mistakes and stuff like that. But when that's somebody that literally do everything that you do, go to the same classes,
Right.
you y'all go play basketball together, Sure, they might dabble here and there in certain things that you don't partake in. But anyway, that could easily be you, like kind of things. What I'm saying, like you're not much different than that person. If they're 96% something, you might be 95, you might be 97. Almost the same thing. Like and to watch their life get turned upside down like that and to be changed forever, or maybe they even just be gone, like you said, like losing something, like you said. Sorry, to losing somebody, and like trauma plays a big part in your 20s.
Nah, for real. And to switch up from a more heavy topic, kind of get back to the more smiley things, but we did want to touch on that because it is important. And we're talking about coming of age and growth, and we're coming up on about an hour and a half. So I want to end off with, yeah, we are.
Oh, we've
Mike
been
looked kind of
talking
tired
for a
back there
minute.
anyway.
But I do want to end off with this. I can't really answer this question, but I feel like most of y'all in the room can. Back when we were younger, you always hear like, or you even see jokes about it now, like people don't want to admit that they're in their 30s or like, things like that. But now that you kind of knocking on the door, like how old is
And or over the hill.
and or over the hill,
I'm not.
how old is 30 really? Like, do you like, because it's I know it can't be like 29 and then you turn 30 and you just like drop off a cliff. Like, like do you still
not
feel
that.
like you got that youthful energy to a degree?
Look, it's for me. It's multiple points because the whole physical thing, that shit's there.
Yes.
Because I played basketball on concrete my whole life. Like my knees are shot. Like, like
You go
start
play
to feel these
basketball on
things.
concrete right now.
Like no, I still do play basketball and stuff like that. But
But
as
is
a
the
kid, you used to
recovery
play
the
for-
same?
Yeah, exactly. Like I used to play for 10 hours and not feel nothing as a kid. Like legit, like 10 hours. Back to back.
You
to
go play
back
10
days
hours right now.
And all kind. Bro, you're lucky if I give you 5. I'm wanting to go like 8. Like I love playing basketball. I really do. But I be sore as hell afterwards. I can't play basketball on days I have work, so that leaves 2 days out of the week to play now. Like it's all kind of like there's differences that you gotta adjust in life and stuff like that. But at the same time, it just still feels like to me right now, just turning 29. I feel like I'm at the start of my life right now. Like I feel like I am finally like about to be the person that a lot of people kept saying I'd be, like that potential that people talk about and all that other stuff. I'm like, I finally see that all of these plans that I put together and culminated throughout my 20s to say, hey, I want to write this book, or hey, I want to start this gym, or hey, I want to do this business, or when my finances get here, I'm going to work out. I feel like, I have 1 through 10 now. Like, they all, like these bricks just lined up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's just to place them. Like, it's just to actually do the work. And that's another thing, too. Don't run away from doing the fucking work in your 20s, yo.
Yes.
Don't run away from it, because doing nothing will bite you in the ass. Trust me, no matter how fun it may be, you can have fun doing the work, too. But do the work, yo.
Amen.
I mean, for me, I'm a woman, so my age is different. Like, guys don't like. Nobody's like. I don't know about. Were you guys like scared to turn 30 as men? Like,
Not necessarily.
That's a little bit.
like I
A
mean,
little bit, yeah.
but like guys just get like more refined with age.
I have-
You know what I mean? Like,
I have gotten. Like I said, I've never been sexier in my whole life than I've been in my
right.
30s.
This is what I'm trying to say. Like, but with women have like this beauty, grab. Like, we're always aspiring to like stay young, and like we have a certain pressure with that. With this age right now, it's just people are projecting onto me. Like, now everyone's looking at my stomach. Now, did I tell you at my birthday, everyone thought I was pregnant? Everyone thought I was pregnant at my birthday.
Damn.
They just know I'm fucking.
First
They just
of
feel like
all-
something should be in my oven. Like, this shit is crazy.
First of all, fuck you. Like,
Oh my god! So I think I have to deal with that. Just like people are like, oh, when are you gonna have a baby? When are you gonna be married? When are you gonna do this? It's like,
relax.
give me a fucking second. But I feel like with your 30s, like, the best thing I can think about is like your 20s, you were like a starving artist, and like in your 30s, like you finally make it to the gallery. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, you've been doing all this work, and you've just been throwing different things at the wall and like seeing what will stick and what's like gonna work out on the canvas. But like now, you found your stride. You know where to put your signature. You put in a frame, and now you got somebody to put in the gallery. So now it's like, how many pictures do you want to hang in the gallery? Like in your 30s. Like, that's how I feel. Like, it's like I feel like a lot more refined, a lot more confident. Like Keith, never been sexier.
Period.
Never been sexier.
No, it's a good time. I think I hate to be cliche, but the 30s are your new 20s, because like I had a lot of fun in my 20s, but like I was thinking small fries. Like, what I thought was like a lot of money was like nothing.
Nah, word, bro.
But even the experiences that you think, like, you realize that you're so low budget. In your
Yes.
20s. Like, yeah, to be honest, I
Go-
was like no budget.
I can't even believe I made shit
going
shake
to
the way I
Atlanta-
did with nothing.
Going to Atlanta Greek picnic, you thought you were doing it.
Telling you, yeah.
Bruh, AGP was lit.
I'm not gonna be lit until I go to Bora Bora. Like, come on, like you get
Going
your
to the
goals in your
Maldives next year.
30s.
The hotel room eras was undefeated. Like,
Woo!
like, yo,
3 to a bed.
Like, that shit was
Yo,
undefeated.
Nah, I ain't never do that.
Like, I'm telling you, undefeated.
I'm not gonna say
Like, yo,
where.
we
I'm not
used to
gonna say
party,
who.
bro.
I'm not gonna say what. But there were certain people's birthdays where we went to certain places in the southern part of New Jersey.
Ugh.
Yeah, boy.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
Where I was just cool with getting a spot with a blanket on the floor.
You feel me? Try sleeping on the floor now.
I swear I will never do it. I won't sleep. I don't sleep
I
on
can
couch.
sleep anywhere. Y'all tripping.
I don't sleep
I
on
am not
couches
bougie.
now.
I can sleep anywhere.
I don't sleep
If
on
I'm
couches
sleeping on the
now.
floor, it's on an air mattress, right?
I get you.
Because couches are.
It's okay,
unless
bro.
it's
Yeah,
some
we know.
shit like this,
I get you.
I'm not sleeping on the couch. But to answer your question, for me, like I said, my 30s now. Again, I've never.
Speaking as sexy Keith.
Yes, I honestly feel like I've never looked as good as I do. Like, I know how I like my haircut. I know how, like, my face to be shaved, whether or not it's the time of the year where I want to rock the beard.
You perfected your recipe.
I have. I know what works. I know what works for my body, what doesn't work for my body. I know what I should eat. I know what I should not be eating. I know what I should. I can, like, kind of do maybe once or twice during the week, but the rest of the week I can't do that. Like I said, I know the guy I am when it comes to love. I just told y'all, that guy that I am. I know that person,
Same.
and I also am willing to admit that there are still things I need to learn in aspects of life too. I still very much so need to learn. While I know the guy that I am in love, I still need to learn who to be that guy for.
There you go.
It's still something that I'm certain that because I'm doing it for everybody.
Right.
Because I spent so many
Not to
years.
take it down a dark path. I hate to do that to you, but you also can, like, it's a possibility that you can learn whether or not you should be that guy at all.
That's
Like,
true too. Whether or not I should stay the person
Yeah.
that I feel that I may feel it.
My bad, car.
I may feel that this is the person I should be, but intellectually, should I still be doing it?
Because, I don't think people talk about this enough, but, like, sometimes the love in your heart isn't for a romantic partner.
Yeah,
Sometimes the love,
man.
like, that tender love in your heart should be for a child, should be for a pet, should be for a family member. Like, it sometimes it's really not fit
An
for
activity,
the person.
like I understand.
Yeah,
I see where you're
hobby.
Maybe a friend.
Like, it sometimes, like, I think people make relationships like their North Star, but, like, sometimes you're giving the love to the wrong person.
Right.
I'm so glad that statement came from a woman in a room full of guys, because I really agree with that.
I do as well.
Like,
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if that's if it should be like, I feel like I should be doing this for him.
I used to cry.
I don't know if this is where it should be. This is where I should be putting, like, intellectually, like, I don't know if this is where I should be putting all of my attention.
Yeah.
Because I'm also, like, in my 20s, I was very much so, I got 7 on the roster. Beyond the fact that, like, I'm tired and I can't just be talking to 7 of y'all on the roster right now. It's just not
That's a
realistic.
lot of words.
I
in one
cannot
day.
be at all your daddy's houses.
It's just
I
not
simply
realistic
cannot.
to sustain
It
to
is
try to
simply
talk
impossible.
to 7 people right now for me to do. So
I
just
can't
having
believe
this
you
one.
ever did that. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, no, I used to have them Rolodex going, but now I just like
$5
I just want
if
to
you
talk to the
remember what a
one.
Rolodex is.
If y'all do, I will give y'all $20. But I just want the one. But should it be him?
I'm so flip-floppy with that, I'm gonna expose myself a little bit, but I really don't be knowing. Like, that shit that you responded to the other day when he was like, "Oh, guys, it's
These niggas
like,
is sick.
Like, bro, I'm gonna read it for context. Like,
Oh my god.
that shit really, like,
I
it
said, y'all
described me
niggas
to
not
a
well.
T,
What is
yeah.
going on?
I hope I still. No, I don't even have the shit up there.
No.
Mario got it.
You're
Hold
not
on.
gonna get away that easy. Oh hell no.
Receipts. We got receipts.
Oh dude.
We got receipts. Oh, she said, "Oh,
She
no."
knows she's actually bringing out the receipt, y'all.
Oh.
But yeah, but like,
I'll
Oh,
tell
no,
a story
it,
one
no,
over,
it went away. But what it was saying, it was like, when you're a guy that's been brokenhearted and you're still on one girl, but you're talking and dating to 20, but you don't care about them. And it's like,
But at the same time, you love one. But it,
Yeah.
it was just a whole bunch of contradictions.
It was
like
very, very
7
specific.
contradictions, but it was so specific.
like he was hoeing and
literally-
heartbroken.
Right.
Bro, but
Yeah.
that's how it be sometimes.
Hoeing and
Every single
heartbroken.
contradiction hit too, and I'm just
And
like,
in love.
He said every single
Like,
contradiction hit.
I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all.
And Quill, this is where Quill was like, why is it so relatable? Why are we all living the same life? I'm like, cause y'all niggas is sick. Like,
I'm not gonna hold y'all. Y'all, I'm in love right now. A nigga sitting over here in love. Like, would legitimately give a kidney to this nigga right now. If he texted me right now, and said the doctors told me I am in kidney failure, I already know. I'm O positive. I am the universal donor. You can have mine.
he said, baby, I got you.
That's where I'm at right now.
Damn.
Should I be here?
One day I'd really be ready to be married, and then the next day it's just like, point me to the sluts I'm trying to fuck.
Bro, I've deleted all the apps that I'm not even official with this nigga. I've deleted all of the apps.
That's how you know it's.
I've always been like that though. Like I'm like, well, we're locked in. So I understand. I really wish I was like a more casual dater, but like that's really not me. It's really not me.
Amen. But do we have any closing remarks for the people? Anything you want to tell for people that are trying to navigate their 20s?
Listen here and listen to me.
No more than 4 sentences.
Listen here and listen to me. You are going to have regrets, but it's okay.
Boom. Simple enough. Maury?
I feel like for your 20s, like make as many memories as you can. And I think also you should really value the people that make you feel safe and see who like is standing when the dust clears. And hold on to them, you know.
Word.
Yeah.
Quill, closing remarks.
Nothing specific comes to mind. All I can really think is the time you have is definitely more important than the money you have.
Mic drop. Mic drop. Now, I guess the last thing that I'll say on that is I'm still going through my 20s, but I kind of like what Keith said. Find your circle. Find the people who's going to weather the storm. Find the people that see you. And just take it day by day. Put in the work and you'll get there.
Bars.
And with that being said, this has been Woah Chill Wednesday. I'm Jordan 45. All the way to my left is Moriel at Wishing It Was Me. We got Quill Illuminati. We got Keith these days. And as always, on the man behind the camera, we got PMC. You can follow him at Red 19 Films.
Or at Film Clay.
Or that too.
FILMCLAY.
And check out the Red 19 YouTube channel too. We got some bangers on there. But until next time, chill.